Have you ever found yourself wondering if a woman is into you but just won't say it? You sense something in her presence, something beyond the words she speaks. It's subtle, quiet, but unmistakable. See, long before a woman opens her mouth to confess interest, her body already whispers the truth. Her body language, her energy, her silence, they all speak volumes if only you'd learn how to listen. When a woman is craving you but hiding it, her body betrays what her mind is trying to control. She might cross her legs toward you in conversation without realizing it. She'll play with her hair when you talk or glance at your lips as you speak. These are not accidents. These are signals, raw, unfiltered signals sent straight from her subconscious. She may appear composed, even indifferent, but her eyes will tell you everything. The eyes, gentlemen, are windows to the soul. If you catch her looking at you when she thinks you're not watching, that's not a coincidence. That's desire looking for a way to express itself, trapped behind pride or fear of vulnerability. And when your eyes meet, when you hold that gaze just a second longer than usual, that electric moment isn't just in your head. It's real. She feels it too. She just won't say it. Now understand this, most women will not pursue you directly, not because they don't want to, but because they've been taught not to. Instead, they rely on cues, hints, gestures, a flick of the hair, a quick glance, standing a little too close in a crowd, that light brush of her hand against yours. None of these are random. They are chosen subconsciously, powered by emotion, restrained by caution. She might laugh just a little louder at your jokes than everyone else. She'll remember small things you said in passing. She'll touch your arm briefly when talking, then pretend it meant nothing. But make no mistake, it meant something. It meant everything. But here's where most men miss it. They're so focused on what's being said, they forget to tune in to what's being shown. You don't need her to confess her feelings. You need to observe her actions. Feel the energy she brings into the room when you're near. Sometimes the loudest expressions of interest are communicated in silence. Do not look only with your eyes. Look with your awareness. Because when you master the art of observation, you will no longer chase answers. You'll recognize them. When a woman is craving you but hiding it, she won't always have the courage to make it obvious. But her body will always leave clues for the man who pays attention. And once you learn to see what most men ignore, you no longer question if she's interested. You know. You must begin to understand something that many men overlook. When a woman truly desires you, even if she hides it, she will find a way to be in your world. Even the busiest woman will create time for the man who captivates her heart. She may not say it out loud, but her actions will speak where her lips remain silent. Watch closely. A woman who is hiding her feelings will rarely be direct. Her approach is often strategic, delicate. She will not declare her interest, but she will show up again and again. She may say she's busy, that her schedule is packed, but somehow she always replies to your messages. Somehow she always says yes when you suggest a meetup. Somehow she's always right there, where you are. This is not luck, this is not chance. It is intention disguised as coincidence. She might casually mention being in your area. She might bump into you at that spot you frequent. Or she may simply linger longer in conversation, even if she acts like she has somewhere to be. These are small doors she leaves open, hoping you'll walk through. The truth is, no matter how well she hides it, she wants you to notice her effort. And notice this, a woman's availability isn't always about what she says yes to, it's also in what she doesn't say no to. She tolerates delays from you that she wouldn't accept from others. She adjusts her schedule to align with yours, even if it means inconveniencing herself. She makes time, not because she's free, but because you matter. She may also show up emotionally before she's ready to show up physically. She listens more intently, remembers more details. She asks questions, not just out of politeness, but because she's genuinely invested. A woman who is craving your presence will look for reasons to connect, and she will not ask for permission to do it. She will weave herself into the rhythm of your days in quiet, almost imperceptible ways. But most men miss this. They think effort only looks like grand gestures. They overlook the subtle, consistent appearances that are anything but accidental. Understand that for a woman hiding her desire, showing up is a risk. Every moment she chooses to be near you, she's putting a little piece of her heart on display. She is hoping, not for validation, and if you're the kind of man who knows how to see past the surface, you'll begin to recognize that her presence is not passive. It is a quiet confession, a silent way of saying, I want to be where you are, even if I can't yet tell you why. So when she finds a way to be near you again and again, don't take it for granted. She didn't just make time, she made a choice. One of the most telling signs that a woman is craving you, but hiding it, is found in her reaction to other women around you. She may not speak her feelings openly, but her emotional response will slip through the cracks when she senses a threat to the attention she secretly wants from you. Jealousy, when subtle and restrained, becomes one of the most powerful indicators of hidden desire. She may smile politely when another woman speaks to you, but her eyes will shift, her tone will tighten, if only slightly. She might suddenly become quiet or offer a comment that seems harmless on the surface, but carries an undercurrent of emotion. A joke, perhaps, laced with sarcasm? A question asked with too much curiosity. These are not random, they are controlled expressions of something she won't allow herself to fully admit. She doesn't want to share your attention. You see, a woman who is hiding her feelings is in constant conflict. On one side, she wants to appear indifferent, confident, unbothered. But on the other, she wants to claim her place in your life, even if silently. And when another woman enters the scene, someone who might take what she hasn't yet had the courage to ask for, her emotional guard slips, even if just for a moment. She may suddenly try to insert herself into the conversation more. She might change her posture, speak louder, or draw your attention back to her. She wants to remind you, without ever saying it, that she's still there, that she sees you, that she wants you to see her too. But unlike overt jealousy, which can be loud and reactive, this type is controlled. She doesn't want you to catch her slipping. She doesn't want to be obvious. Because being obvious would mean vulnerability. And vulnerability means admitting there's something she feels that she cannot control. And for many women, control is protection. So instead, she'll act uninterested. She'll pretend the other woman doesn't matter. She'll even encourage you to talk to her, all while quietly monitoring your every move. Her silence in those moments is louder than words. Her restraint is not detachment, it is fear. Fear that if she reveals too much, she will lose the emotional upper hand. And yet, in trying so hard to mask what she feels, she ends up revealing it anyway. A woman in this space is hoping you'll notice, without her having to say anything, that you'll feel the shift in energy, that you'll read between the lines, because she knows she can't say it, but she's desperate for you to understand it. The next time another woman walks into the room and you feel her presence tighten, when you sense her gaze sharpen, don't ignore it. That quiet flicker of jealousy is not weakness. It's a signal, a whisper of something deeper she's too proud to name, but too emotional to hide. When a woman desires you but is determined to keep it hidden, she often becomes her own greatest obstacle. She wants to open the door, yet she fears what lies on the other side. So instead of expressing interest in a clear, straightforward way, she overcompensates. She over-explains, over-analyzes, and sometimes overreacts, not because she doesn't know what she feels, but because she's trying to manage it. You'll notice it in the way she talks to you. She may act like she doesn't care, brushing things off with an air of casual indifference, but listen closely and you'll hear her explaining herself far more than she needs to. She'll clarify small things, justify harmless decisions, or pretend that she's unaffected by your presence. This isn't just nervousness, it's the tug of war between her longing and her restraint. At times, her behavior may even seem inconsistent. One day she's warm, attentive, responsive. The next she pulls back, acts distracted, maybe even distant. That's not confusion, that's conflict. Her mind is building walls that her heart keeps trying to climb. She's trying to convince herself, and maybe even you, that there's nothing there, all while proving the opposite through her very effort to stay composed. She might tease you, joke a little too sharply, or challenge your words, not because she's uninterested, but because she's afraid of how deeply interested she truly is. Emotionally, she's seeking protection from her own vulnerability, so she masks it in sarcasm, in wit, in detachment. But you can feel it just beneath the surface. There's a tenderness, a softness trying to make its way to the light. And then there are the moments when she asks questions that don't sound like much on the surface, but are rooted in deep curiosity about you. She wants to understand you, to know how you think, to find out what makes you tick. But she does it carefully, often indirectly, so you won't think she's giving away too much. She's guarding her heart, but her interest keeps slipping through the cracks. A woman in this state is constantly trying to measure her emotional safety. She'll test the waters, then retreat if she senses even the slightest risk. But the fact that she's testing at all means she's already invested. No one overthinks something they don't care about. No one analyzes or strategizes around someone who means nothing to them. You must learn to look beyond her words and see the tension behind them, the pauses, the nervous laughter, the overly rehearsed indifference, all signs that she's not unaffected. She's simply afraid of being seen too clearly. She hides behind control, because control feels safer than exposure. When you hear her over-explaining something simple or see her acting colder than the moment deserves, understand what's truly happening. It's not distance, it's disguise. A mask she wears, hoping you'll see past it, but afraid you actually will. There's a particular kind of woman who holds her desire close to her chest. She won't tell you what she feels, won't admit she wants your attention, but if you pay attention, you'll see that she's constantly looking for your validation. Not in an obvious way, no, she's far too guarded for that, but she still needs to know that you see her, that you notice her, that she matters to you. And so she'll ask without really asking. She may change something about her appearance and casually wait to see if you mention it, a new hairstyle, a different outfit, something subtle, but it's not for the world. It's for you. And if you don't notice, you may see a flicker of disappointment cross her face, quickly covered up with a smile, because she wanted your attention, not your pity. Or she might share something vulnerable, something personal, but wrapped in humor or passed off as a side note. She's not just talking, she's feeling the space between you, testing to see if you'll move closer or pull away. She wants to know if her presence has an impact on you, even if she can't bring herself to ask the question directly. She'll also seek your opinion, not just about important things, but sometimes about the smallest details, what you think of her idea, her outfit, her post, or her plan. And while she may act like your answer doesn't matter, don't be fooled. It matters more than she'll ever admit, because when a woman is hiding her feelings, she will still look for the one thing that gives her comfort, your approval. She might talk about other men too, not because she's trying to make you jealous, but because she wants to see how you'll react. Do you care? Will you even flinch? She's not just observing your answer, she's observing what your answer means. She's looking for evidence, not just interest. She wants to know if you value her enough to claim her, even if she's never said she wants to be claimed. All of this, the indirect compliments, the quiet testing, the subtle glances, are her way of saying, tell me I'm enough for you to see me. But she won't say it in words. She's too careful for that. Too afraid of what might happen if she lays her emotions bare. So she hides behind these small, seemingly innocent questions, hoping you'll read between the lines. But here's the truth. A woman who seeks your validation isn't weak. She's invested. She just hasn't yet found a safe place to land her feelings. So instead, she tiptoes around them, hoping you'll build the bridge before she dares to cross it. When a woman starts to need your opinion, your attention, your reaction more than anyone else's, understand this. She's already chosen you in her heart. She's just waiting to find out if you've chosen her back. When a woman desires you, but fears exposing that desire, she often won't come forward with softness or confession. No, she will test you quietly. She will observe how you respond to subtle challenges, to emotional shifts, to small moments designed not to punish you, but to reveal something about you. These tests aren't about games, they are about protection. A woman who craves you, but hides it, needs to know you are worth the risk of being seen. She might pull back slightly in conversation just to see if you'll lean in. She might act distant only to see if you notice the change in energy. She's not doing this out of malice. She's doing it because part of her is desperate to know. Are you the kind of man who senses when something deeper is happening beneath the surface? Are you present enough to catch what most men miss? And here's the paradox. When a woman tests you, she's not trying to push you away. She's trying to draw you closer. But she wants to know that if she does open her heart, you won't mishandle it. So she creates small, controlled moments to measure your awareness, your emotional steadiness, your depth. She wants to see how you respond when she challenges you, not in anger, but in spirit, because the way you handle her subtle resistance tells her everything she needs to know about whether you're strong enough to meet her emotional reality. She may suddenly act cold, even after a warm and intimate moment. That's a test, not of your patience, but of your consistency. She wants to know, are you only present when things are easy? Or will you remain steady when she withdraws for a moment to protect herself? She may question your intentions even if she knows the answer. That's not doubt, it's a request. She wants to hear you say it. She wants clarity in your voice, certainty in your response, not because she needs it, but because she's hoping it confirms what she already feels. These tests aren't always easy to recognize. That's why so many men fail them. They react with frustration, impatience, or confusion, not realizing that the test was never about perfection, it was about presence. A woman who desires you but won't say it outright will push lightly, waiting to see if you'll pull her closer with confidence instead of pulling away with uncertainty. And the man who understands this, who remains calm, grounded, and sure of himself, becomes the man she can finally trust with what she's been hiding. Because in passing those quiet tests, you prove not only that you want her, but that you see her. That you hear what she cannot say, that you are a man not intimidated by complexity, but strengthened by it. So when she tests you, don't flinch. Don't run. Recognize what's really happening. She's not testing to lose you, she's testing to let you in.